On March 2nd, Mars steps into the sign of Pisces, shifting us from force into flow, battle into surrender, and action into intuition. This is one of those transits where the soul begins navigating life on Earth through feeling rather than logic, through this intuitive instinct rather than just, I'm hearing mindless action. This is where you begin consciously and lucidly guiding your life towards your chosen destination. But I'm hearing it's going to feel like an inception moment for you, where there's like a dream inside of a dream inside of a dream, because Mars is the warrior, Pisces is the ocean. So when the warrior goes into the ocean, his sword dissolves, and what remains is truth. And I see that being revealed for you, okay, when it comes to the soul's kind of desire to express itself through infinite potential in this realm. I'm hearing and not localizing that, because Mars can represent like the localized self. I'm hearing the localized selfhood, the ego. And Pisces is like going beyond that. It's like, oh, you think you know? Well, let me show you an entirely new way of moving through this existence. That's what I see happening. I'm seeing like a balloon full of helium, and then you release it and you let it go, and it just travels the distance. And a lot of people, you know, they see this balloon moving through the sky, and you know, they're pointing to it and noticing it. Some are questioning, oh, what is that in the sky? It's that type of element. But you are that balloon. And I feel like that's how not only will you be witnessed, but that's how you're going to be experiencing yourself. Okay? I'm hearing, but even when the balloon begins to lose its helium and it begins to fall once again, it just becomes one with the elements. How do I describe this? It's the unified field of creation playing with itself. It's knowing that the ocean's wave is not separate from the ocean itself. It's that you are the ocean in a drop, and also a drop within the ocean. You're experiencing yourself over and over and over again. The people on your path. It's one source with many masks. So let's talk about how Mars in Pisces is going to be impacting you personally when it comes to your own subjective journey and what the transit means for you. One of the core themes is that your old strategies will not work anymore. You'll notice that your energy just wants to move differently, because when Mars enters Pisces, the ego's way of pushing forward becomes ineffective. The soul is trying to reroute you into alignment, and it's not going to happen through force, but through surrender. You'll feel your body becoming tired of pretending. You'll be tired of striving, tired of fighting currents, and tired of moving in a direction that just no longer fits your becoming. This is the universe turning off every pathway that was built from survival rather than destiny. Your intuition will become your navigation system. Mars in Pisces activates the clair senses. Clairsentience, where you'll have a gut feeling. Claircognizance, where there's just this knowing without knowing how you know things. Your dreams will become prophetic. You'll receive emotional downloads, and there's information behind those emotions. You'll notice symbolic messengers or heightened synchronicity in your waking life. You'll feel pulled and guided and redirected, and none of it will make linear sense. And this is because Pisces is the sign where the higher self overrides the ego, which is Mars. You know, it's the planet of action, and it actually becomes the executor of divine instruction. Your next steps will not come from thinking, they'll come simply through resonance. Hidden desires will rise to your subconscious, because Mars rules desire, passion, instinct, and life force, and Pisces rules the subconscious memory, past lives, and the unseen world. And when they merge, you'll start feeling your desires that were suppressed, your instincts that you had ignored, the callings that you abandoned, and the parts of yourself that you buried, the gifts that you forgot that you had. This transit floods the spiritual basement, and everything that was pushed away or cast out comes back to be reintegrated. Old timelines will dissolve as new ones open, because Mars dissolving into Pisces acts like an alchemical bath. You could feel people falling out of your life, or your habits collapsing, your motivations begin to shift, and your plans begin to dissolve as the future rearranges itself. This is not a regression, but it's a timeline collapse. Your soul is clearing every version of you that cannot walk into the next incarnation of the self. Your anger becomes revelation, because Mars rules anger and Pisces spiritualizes it. This is anger that reveals truth, anger that shows you where you've abandoned yourself, and anger that exposes where you were living too small. It's not destructive, but it is clarifying, because your anger and frustration actually ends up becoming a compass for you. Mars in Pisces activates your spiritual gift strengthening. This is dream travel, astral navigation, deep empathy, mediumship, telepathic intuition, your spiritual courage, artistic expression, and the dissolving of any psychic blocks. It thins the veil so you remember more, you sense more, and the result is that you become more. The collective lesson of Mars in Pisces is that you cannot fight your way into the next chapter of your life. You must feel your way into it. You're learning how to act from alignment rather than impulse, from intuition rather than strategy, and from truth rather than performance. Mars in Pisces will very quickly teach you that when you stop forcing your way, your destiny will reveal itself to you. It's be like water, like Bruce Lee said. So outward things can disclose themselves to you. That's what this transit is going to feel like. But the medicine of this transit is surrendering the old identity. It will teach you to listen to your dreams, to follow the emotional breadcrumbs, to stop chasing clarity, and to trust the redirection. Allow what dissolves to dissolve and move with the current rather than against it. This is the transit that the soul says, stop trying to be who you were and instead become who you already are, beneath the letting go of it all. So let's go ahead and get a message for you in the Cosmos Oracle of, I'm hearing your guide. We have dark energy. So dark energy is quite literally at that, okay? Dark energy, and then you have is split on wormhole, and then you also have selective shield, which is a shortcut of events. Dark energy is the unknown, right? So it's when you step into the unknown that the hidden possibilities already in your field begin to disclose themselves to you. That's what this is. The mystery of undiscovered potential. Dark energy is the most prevalent in the universe, and it's of unknown origin. So these are timelines already accessible to you, okay, that you're being called to step into, surrender, to allow them to flow to you. There's something about surrender, the feminine, because you're putting a masculine energy in Mars, all right, a masculine planet in a feminine essence and sign. Okay, so there's this energy of allowing yourself to physically be receptive. Now, in the darkness, it's in the darkness that we find our most valued talents, passions, and motivations. The darkness is not about going into the basement to look for pain, but dark energy is universally defined as unknown energy. There's a lot more to discover by turning on the flashlight. Okay, it talks about what if you're limiting yourself by thinking that it has to be this way. Right, we also have this card that wanted to come through, the Divine Matrix. So again, this is the oneness of it all, okay? Even if you speak about the Kabbalah, this is creation is one emanation, difference in only seeming, right? This is synchronicities, very much the Mars in Pisces energy. I'll go ahead and read it for you. This is just going to be a short confirmation reading because I'm not really telling you anything new, all right? This is just you already know this. The Divine Matrix, let's see. Right, so this talks about you're in alignment with the oneness and the inner workings of the universe. This card shows a giant stargate opening up to the universe in a piece of sacred geometry. It's the Divine Matrix, and it essentially says it's reminding us all that nothing is happening by chance, and even when we can't fully comprehend it, there's a greater plan unfolding. And it basically talks about the interconnected thing, the lattice, the grid, the Divine Matrix, all the connecting points on this grid that link us to our ancestry, loved ones, aspects of our past, present, and future. Because time, it's non-linear, okay? But the messages that will be coming through for you are going to come through non-linearly. Your heart is going to guide you, Pisces, in a way that the mind doesn't understand. Okay, so there's something greater. This means that your greatness is expressing itself, not one thing in your life has happened by chance. Even when you felt that things have been against you, a process has been unfolding, helping you understand your connectedness to all things. You're not going to quite understand where the dots are connecting you to. It's going to unveil itself and unfold like a memory. So it's going to feel very, very synchronistic for you during this transit. But you can look back at your life and understand how all the dots had connected to bring you back to this point of remembrance and coherence. So there's no need to feel insignificant or lonely. It's also important to remember that the universe is always working in your favor and for your highest good. You may have felt lost, and know that nothing is ever lost. We're all held in the heart of source, and love is our connection to all things. So again, you're not separate. You never were, and you never could be. Right? It may feel like you are alone on this journey, but you're not. It's just a remembrance that reality is not fixed. It never was. It's always vibrating, which means that your soul understands it's not static. Reality is rendering new experiences into your being because of the upgrade in which you're going through. Pisces it's an octave, right? If we talk about Neptune, Jupiterian energy, it's a high octave of even Venus, when we speak about Neptune specifically, which is Mars's counterpart. It's the feminine reflection of the masculine. So there's an essence of, I'm hearing the inner meeting of both worlds. I'm hearing that's when both worlds combine, when you understand the external world around you as a reflection of your internal state of being. That's what this is. Like, you're not moving through a pre-built structure. You are actively arising as a participator in the reality that you're co-creating with your infinite nature. That's what this is. Like, this is every step in consciousness, right? Meeting itself on the path in another form. Like, every person, obstacle, opportunity, and invitation is from the one. It's interacting with itself through countless expressions, countless experiences. It's the unified lens. It's a moment of ego dissolving. And it's not that you're losing the ego, but it's that you're changing your relationship with something that is so localized, that cannot fully comprehend the infinite. And the moment that you stop trying to, the moment that you allow yourself to go nowhere, suddenly you're everywhere. You're experiencing yourself as everything at once. I'm hearing there's only so much truth, so much light, so much information that can be contained inside of the vessel. And you get to a point where consciousness is not just localized to that vessel, but it's the very field that your vessel moves through. Don't you see it? So, I'm going to leave you there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. There will be a waiting list for May though, because we have some things in motion behind the scenes. Destiny's in motion. Yeah. Alright guys, check out Otter Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards Otter Sanctuaries. You have 2 discount codes for that in the description box. And I'll speak to you very, very soon. I'm wearing Rainbow Moonstone, which is I create miracles every day. And yeah, that will be it. That will be it. Bye!
Clouds in the sky, don't care if I stay all day. Dreaming of time when you and I would